Hi and welcome along to the Invincible podcast. Back in the building, I'm here. Right, I know this show took a turn for the worse last week. Is down, numbers down, viewing time down, everything down. People moaning, but don't worry, people, I'm back. No, I'm only joking. Lee Judge is in the building, and Marty's here, and we are looking forward to the weekend. Arsenal taking on Nottingham Forest. And we're going to get into that, but first of all, how you guys been, man? Everything good?
Yeah, all good. Like, I just want to say, like, production have backed me up here. Like, you know, it's half hour. We'd be finished by now, Marty. Like, you know, like, I was on time. Bosh, job done.
Like, out the door. See you later.
Listen,
but here we are, half hour. We've only just started. 2 minutes in, like. You know what I mean?
Now, listen, right?
And we've been missed, haven't we?
I was absolutely flying into work, and then the amount of traffic because of this tube strike, another tube strike, right? So you know what the roads are like. They're awful. You lucky because you just get a straight train in.
Well, I did today.
Am I lying?
No, I got a straight train. I normally get the tube, but I went to another station today, and I made sure I got here a bit earlier because I thought that the car park would be packed, so I didn't know if I could park or whatever. No problems.
Yeah,
I was here on time.
I drove in, and you know, it's absolutely fine.
No problem.
What are you trying to say? Well, yeah, you come from another direction.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
He comes on the road. Air traffic control in your helicopter wasn't right, was it? Like,
listen, it was busy, man. It was busy. But listen, we're here, man. And yeah, well, you know, what you guys been up to over the international break? How's it been? I was over in Algeria, actually. It was really nice.
Yeah, nice.
A lot of Arsenal fans there. A lot of Liverpool fans there. I think Salah has really converted a lot.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, big Muslim country. They love Salah there. But a lot of Arsenal fans that I met over there. And yeah, it was a really good. I was at this conference, loads of African nations there. Yeah, loads of Arsenal fans. And you know what? Like, they're all very, even despite the Liverpool loss, they're all pretty enthusiastic that we can still win the league. But there was a lot of questions from them about Arteta and, you know, the braveness and stuff like that. And it's going to be a real test for him this weekend.
Yeah, it took me a couple of weeks to get over it. Or not a couple of weeks, but a good few days to get over that result.
Yeah.
And then the way we played and all that. Like, but I had a nice... you know, people go, yeah, I know, you like Marty, it's like, I miss the art. I actually quite enjoy that weekend. I know.
Yeah, like, I was all right with it. I needed a little break.
You need to get a little break.
Really? Yeah, because
no one ruins it. Arsenal don't ruin it.
They give you 3 games, right? They give us 3 games, and you're right back into it after a game against Liverpool, and then they just pull the rug from underneath your feet.
That is true.
And then you're in this international wilderness of like. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I've actually enjoyed the international break with the international football this time. I've actually watched. Yeah. Do you know what? I actually watched. Funny enough, after saying last time, I don't really like it. Listen, I prefer Premier League football, and I cannot wait for Saturday. I really cannot wait for Saturday, the Forest game. I'm so looking forward to that. But there's been some alright football that's been played.
When?
The Serbia game was that was a great performance.
Oh, come on. They were rubbish.
Yeah,
no, but England played really well. That was good. But that Andorra game, come on, man.
Yeah,
I never watched the Andorra game.
That wasn't England's finest moment. And sometimes, you know, teams like that can be hard to break down. Listen, okay, they should be doing a job on them. I get that. There were some interesting performances around the pitch in that game. I thought Eze, I don't think he had the best game against Andorra. But it was really nice to see against Serbia, Declan Rice, dead balls, fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, the assist, Madueke.
Yeah, I thought played well.
Do you know what? I think he's going to be a surprise. A real surprise.
I will say this though.
Go on.
Right? Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah.
He's not on my wish list at the moment. Like, left Miles Lewis Skelly out.
Yeah, that was a strange one.
How dare you do that?
I didn't mind that.
He didn't leave any of his Chelsea boys out, did he? Like, oh, no, Thomas. No, Thomas. You're off my wish list.
Is he going to get Lee judged?
Yeah, I don't like him no more. Like, you know what I mean? You don't do that to one of my boys. Send him all the way to Serbia.
Good experience for him, though, right?
He played in the first game, don't he?
Played against them. I don't know. I say I'm not really in it. I have to say, like, you know,
Madueke was excellent.
I thought he played really well.
Great goal.
thought we played. Great goal. Great movement. Lovely little flick from Morgan Rogers. He's becoming one of my favourite players outside Arsenal, Morgan Rogers.
Good player.
There was a little rumour that he might be going to Spurs, and I think, oh no, please, don't let that happen. But I think he's a really good player. This brings me nicely onto my little Saka segment,
Saka.
Yeah, I like the disrespect for Saka is getting me down, Rob. It's getting me down. Like
what disrespect?
People saying that he's not a great. Oh, he's worried about his place now. The best player on the park for me in that game was Morgan Rogers, right? And straight away, Bellingham's got to come back in. He's straight in back in there, and who hasn't done that well over the last course of 3 or 4. I think Saka has been consistently one of the best players for England.
Definitely.
All of a sudden, his place is in jeopardy. He's got to watch this and that,
Well, what's wrong with that?
Well, all of a sudden, he ain't going to get back in the Arsenal team. They're saying, he's been our best player. He is our best player, right?
No, but isn't that good? That's being said, right?
I get that, but I also I like them to turn around and go yes, but Saka is our best player. Now, I don't hear no one saying that.
To me, Saka, I've said it a million times, right? Saka's our best player, right? He's consistently good for club and country. I've had games, right? I've said this because they used to be, him and Julian always accused me of being like a Saka fanboy, right?
Well, you are.
Right? No, because I just love him as a player.
He gets 8 out of 10 every game. He weren't even playing last game.
What it is
8 out of 10.
What it is with these two, right? Yeah. How many games have we come? I remember there was a game we came out of one day, and Lee, I can't remember the exact game, but Lee was there. Yeah, that's for Saka. He's got to do more. Wasn't impressed, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, yeah, but he scored a goal and he had an assist. And then he goes, oh, yeah, he did, yeah. And that's what's so good about him. Yeah, sometimes, I think sometimes aesthetically in a game, he may not be, but he numbers that guy puts up, the consistency. Even the other the game against Leeds, it's like we forgot he scored that goal. That was a vital goal as well. That second goal. Then that's it. It's done for Leeds. So, that's how good. That is how good that guy is. So I hear what Lee's saying. We still got to recognise. You know what I mean? He's the guy in that position. But though, Lee, what I am liking is Madueke is offering serious competition to him. For the last few games he's played for England, it weren't just that one the other night. About the last 3-4 games Madueke's played, he's been excellent.
Yep.
And we saw against Liverpool, I thought he played really well. And that's what we want. We want Saka to know that he faces serious competition. We want to know that if Saka's not having a great game, there's not going to be a major drop. As a matter of fact, Madueke kind of he offers something a little different, don't he?
He's more direct, doesn't he?
And it's good because wasn't it just about 6-7 weeks ago that everybody was having an absolute meltdown that was signing Madueke? We were all kind of guilty of it, myself included. I was like, we all kind of like, why? Why do we need Madueke? We've got Saka, we've got Wanyeri who can play on that side. So far, and it's still very early, but so far I think he's off to a good start at Arsenal.
And it's an absolutely mental parallel universe where people are talking about Madueke now offering Saka competition, and exactly what you're saying, Lee, that he could potentially, in some ways, I'm not underestimating Saka. I know what an amazing player he is, but that's also credit down to Noni Madueke in how he's come in to Arsenal against all this criticism, acted like a consummate professional, got his head down and started performing. Now, if he goes on a run of games and takes this opportunity and starts banging in goals and starts performing at the highest level, I think it's fair to say, it shows he's there to completely compete for a position in the first team and be a first choice.
Yeah, and I also think the way that the transfer window's gone, it's took a lot of pressure off of him. And I listen, I weren't very happy when we signed him. Not because we signed him. It was that we hadn't got the centre forward in, and then people were going, "Oh, that's going to stop us getting Eze," and it didn't. We got everything that we wanted. So all of a sudden, everybody now understands the signing, and I think that took a little bit of pressure off him. I don't think no one's really criticised him as a player because he's an Arsenal player, but I think it was, hold on a minute, why are we spending this money? We spend £52 million on him, and we was divvying over £1 million for the striker we wanted. Once Gyökeres was signed, that took a little bit of pressure off. But I also think that when Eze signed, I think that took another bit of pressure off of him. And now he can just do what he has to do, and I think he's been brilliant. But what I'm saying, and it's great that he's an Arsenal player and he's doing this and all that. But we've had it with Saka over the last few years. When it does get me down a little bit. Foden's got to come in. He's better than him. Now Palmer now is in place of him. Hold on a minute. Saka should be on the right. Palmer, you get in somewhere else, mate.
Saka's first on the team sheet.
100%. But
England
I don't think
team.
he gets that recognition. Foden's better than Saka. Palmer's better. Why are they not turning around and saying Palmer's better than Foden or Foden's better than Palmer? That's my little bit of beef with it. It's always comparing with Saka all the time.
They're all excellent players. Foden, Palmer, excellent players, but they're not as consistently good as Saka. Right, and Saka deserves his place, and he's been doing it for years.
Yeah,
and he's still only very young, and but I'm just infused with what I'm seeing with Madueke because remember, coming into this weekend, Saka's not even fit.
Well, even if we were saying before, I thought, because we was on time, weren't we? Right?
Yeah. Well, we were chatting before.
We were sort of talking before.
For quite a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, for quite a while.
Yeah, it was quite an in-depth conversation.
See how you lot ganging up on me every week. I've seen it.
Started talking about Bilbao and all that as well. But we was actually saying...
Well, we went through all the Champions League fixtures as well.
I think we did.
Yeah, I think all 8, yeah.
There you go.
Go on.
But Saka's got to get fit. That's the bottom line of it.
We was actually saying that we don't want to see him.
Yeah, no.
Do you want? I don't want to see him against. I don't want to see him for another 2 weeks.
Like
we said, fully fit.
I want him fully fit. I believe, and I don't care what anybody says, he was rushed back last season, right? Which has had an effect on him being injured again this time. I think even Kai Havertz was rushed back last and he's gone down and broken down again. I don't want that.
Kai Havertz didn't come out until the last 2 games of the season or something like that.
Yeah, but I still think they're trying to rush him. I just if it's 3 weeks,
make it 6.
Make it and that's.
But you see, you wouldn't have said that before.
100%, I wouldn't have said it before. That's the difference. We're counting down the days.
Do you know what? Saka needs to get fully fit. He's got World Cup coming up. He needs to get fully fit. That need to eliminate this injury, and however much time he needs. Obviously, we need him back.
Well, they said he'd be all right after the. Obviously, at the time of doing this show, we haven't heard what Arteta said about it yet, but they were saying that he was going to be after the international break. So even if he didn't play this week, but the Bilbao game,
give him time. Even comes on sub on that, be on the bench or whatever. I'd rather him not travel.
Yeah,
and be ready for Man City. If anything, that's.
See, this is a good thing, though. This is what we're saying. This is now where we're starting to see
the fruits of
the emergence of a good squad.
100%.
Which we ain't really had this over the years. You know what I mean? It's like
100%.
We'd be like, "What if Saka ain't playing now? We're worried."
Yeah.
Whereas now,
we want him to have that extra week.
Yeah.
Same with Saliba.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Listen, when Saliba goes down, there was. I'll be really honest. There was 2 years. 2 years of Saliba. Every time he got into a tackle, I'm panicking. When he's going off to France, I'm checking every 2 minutes if he's come off or he's not. Honestly, when he weren't playing for France, he's on the bench. I ain't got that. I had 2 years of it. I ain't got that now. You know what I mean? But it's a nice thing, isn't it?
And do you know the thing is, right, that at the moment, which again goes to talk to that we've got a decent squad now, right, is that you actually got 3 key players. If you look at last season, those are 3 key players missing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Saka, Saliba, even Havertz was a key player, right? And we're all going into that game expecting to beat Forest. We're all going into that game expecting us to put in a good performance. And we're not overly moaning that those 3 are out. And if you're going to go and win things and win leagues and that this season, that's the type of squad. We're all forgetting we've got that Hincapi
Yeah,
that we
he's
just
coming,
signed,
yeah,
right?
he's
I saw he had
done all right in
done very well for Ecuador.
Yeah.
They had a great win. It's looking like they're going to qualify for the World
beat
Cup.
Argentina, didn't
Beat Argentina 1-0, and he played the full 90 minutes. And he hasn't even played yet for Arsenal. He was a deadline day signing. We're forgetting about him, you know what I mean?
Exactly what you're saying there. Those three players
Norgard
injured.
ain't played yet,
Norgard ain't played yet.
Those three players out injured last season, there would have been absolute meltdowns. And quite rightly, we didn't have the squad depth. Now, Mascara, after seeing him against Liverpool, the Premier League champions, how he just filled in with consummate ease. And the right-hand side with Madueke, I want to see him get given that opportunity down that right-hand side. And then obviously up front, it'll be nice. I want to see how Eze and Madueke work on the right and left-hand side with Gyökeres, and whether they can feed him the supply that they need to get him up and running and firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, well, of course, the game this weekend
Yeah.
is Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. Then we go full out and go to play in Bilbao. But Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest, the immediate game in front of us, right? And of course, very interestingly now,
Yeah.
Big Ange.
Big Ange is back.
Big Ange in
Ange
charge. Alongside Edu, who's going to be covered there as well. But Big Ange.
Of course, they'll be there as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
Ange.
And Zinchenko.
What have you made of that? Big Ange.
Well, it's obviously Ange ball, suicide football, right? It's the 4-3-3. He just plays, let's just go for it. He tries to score more than he concedes, but it doesn't always work out like that. 22, when he was at Tottenham, lost 22 Premier League games. He's coming back to Nottingham Forest to put Nottingham Forest back where they belong, whether that's in the Championship or whether it's in winning the Europa League. Because don't forget, they were European champions. That story in the 70s with Brian Clough, absolutely amazing, story and how they did it. But he also says I always win stuff in my second season. Well, it ain't the Championship playoffs that he's winning in his second season. But no, listen, seriously, all jokes aside, I respect Nottingham Forest. They're a huge football club and they've got really fantastic history. But on a serious note, Premier League, they finished 7th last season. They were in 4th quite a lot of the season. Yes. They played, I feel for Nuno. They had defensively they were good. Matt Sells was a fantastic keeper. But on a serious level, they are playing with fire, getting Ange in. This is a manager that lost 22 Premier League games for Tottenham, and under Thomas Frank, they look a completely different outfit. So we'll see. The jury's out, and listen, it could be the perfect time for them to come to the Emirates and get absolutely destroyed by this Arsenal team. Let's hope we see that.
It's going to add a little bit more spice to the game as well. Him being on the top. Not spice, but he ain't going to get a very good welcome, is he?
Oh, no. right, he ain't he won him a cup, no, I hope he does get a lot of stick there, And listen, first and foremost, Nottingham Forest, what have they? It's a ridiculous scenario.
I think it's ridiculous.
It's a ridiculous scenario. They've got a manager there that's come in when they was really struggling, Forest were down the bottom of the league struggling, and everything. He took them on. If it weren't for the lack of a squad, they would have got Champions League football last season. They just faded towards the end, and the writing's on the wall when he comes out and has a go at him on the pitch. What I mean? The writing's on the wall. Then, listen, I actually quite like Nottingham Forest, for a couple of reasons. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't be playing in red and white kit, So there's a lot of history with that. They were fantastic when I was growing up in the Brian Clough era and everything like that. And I've always had a little soft spot for them. Tony Woodcock coming through there and all of that guy. That was a great team and a great club. But part of me, if it don't go well, they deserve what they get.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
It's a bad fit what's happened there.
Yeah, I thought that Nuno, I'm with you, the job he did there was fantastic. You're right, if they'd had a better squad, they probably got Champions League football. They punched above their weight, seriously. Chris Wood, look what he...
Unreal.
Look what he did with Chris Wood. Look what he did with players like Alanga. Hudson-Odoi. These were not players that were firing.
Elliot Anderson,
who was brilliant for England as well, right? But those Elliot Anderson sort of came in, we know, but those three were players that kind of failed at other clubs. And what Nuno got at, and then the defensive side of them and their tactics They were brilliant.
Gibbs White makes things happen for him.
Morgan Gibbs White. It's going to be really interesting to see how they play this weekend. I get the feeling that, because we talk about Big Ange and all that attacking stuff, and I think long term they're going to play like that. I get the feeling this weekend they're going to be very defensive.
Do you think?
Yes.
He was in the cup final, wasn't he?
Yeah, remember, like, Europa League final, they were completely defensive, Tottenham.
Yeah, and in
that game,
Frankfurt away.
Yeah, completely defensive. He switched up his tactics, right, and went completely defensive and very negative against Man United, and United couldn't break him down. Remember, United had all the ball in that game. It was just like a breakaway goal. So I think the fact that he's not had any time really to properly train with the squad, he would have only had a couple of training sessions by the time he get to the game. Unless he's totally... he can't surely, after just a couple of games, go gun-ho at the Emirates. You get destroyed. Yeah. So I just get the feeling that it'd be more like what you saw in that Europa League final, where Spurs, if you was to analyse that game, they were very, very negative, very defensive.
Was that game, look, no disrespect to either team, but was that game just not two very poor teams playing against each other?
It was, but his tactics were notably completely different to how he normally plays. He went very, very defensive. And that's how they got the win.
And I think, like, you know, like there was a performance against Frankfurt in there that, and it was in the quarterfinals that they done that as well and hit them on the break and nick the result. And that's what you do in Europe. So look, listen, they're in the Europa League, aren't they? Like, and maybe he's been brought to you know, get him doing well in that as well. Like, you know, and listen, I think that if one thing I said on the Forever Arsenal today is that, you know, we never pumped him. Never pumped Tottenham while he was there. Like, you know, they got a draw at the Emirates, a 2-1 winner. Do you remember it was like close?
1-0 winner.
A 1-0 winner. 3-0 up at half time. We should have gone on and beat them by a lot more, but we ended up being 3-2. So at the end of the day, he's never really come there with this gun-ho thing against us, and you know, so a little bit of a myth at time. He'd give it a go, I think, you know. And listen, he's got weapons in his armoury, like, you know, as we've spoken about, like, you know, players that can cause problems.
But a lot of those players are counter-attacking players.
Yeah.
I just don't see him coming there at the weekend, right, and playing that super high press all over the pitch.
No. And if they do that, Arsenal will love that.
Yeah, I don't see it. I think he's going to come and you're going to see kind of how Nottingham Forest played last season, which is very defensive, looking to capture on the counter-attack. That's what I think is going to happen at the weekend. I think it's still going to be a case of Arsenal having to break down lower mid-blocks to win that game. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I do, and I think that's how, you know...
You think you'll go gunno, Mark? You think you'll go with his, like... tactics that he had?
I don't think he's going to go all out. I don't think. Listen, I think, with all due respect, anyone to come to the Emirates and go, right, let's just go at them and let's go, you know, let's go gung ho at this Arsenal side knows that they're going to be potentially in for a lot of trouble. I just like it's either going to be a great time to play Nottingham Forest, where obviously they're in that transition of the new manager, and are they? He hasn't had enough time with them. How's he going to set out, and has he got it worked out and changing over from Nuno? Or, you know, sometimes when teams have new managers, they play for the new manager, play for their places to cement their places, and sometimes it can be a really bad time to face a team with a new manager. But I would be very, very surprised if we don't get a decent result against them, given the players that we've got.
No excuses.
There isn't.
Well, there's no excuses.
I'm sorry, if you're going for trophies, you're going for, you know, titles, Premier League title, you want to win that championship, you need to be getting 3 points. These are the games last season.
At least last season we got 3 points against them at home.
Yeah, we beat them quite comfortably, 3-0, but they did beat Liverpool.
Yeah. What question for both of you? Who plays on the left-hand side, left wing?
Eze for me.
100% Eze. Without a doubt.
Got to play him at home. I understand to a certain degree whether I agree, you know, I would have played Martinelli on the left. I would have actually played Eze in place of Mourinho at Anfield.
Would you?
But
hey, but by the way, Marino's been on fire.
yeah,
right?
he's been on
He's
fire.
scored a hat-trick.
Okay.
He's like Spain's best player at the moment.
So this is a question I want to ask you guys. Based on form, does Mourinho get in the side and keep his place?
On what form?
Well, the form we've just seen, he's been on fire.
No, that's for Spain.
4 goals. No, I get that. But listen, there's a player there. Okay, so just quickly, Lee, right? You see those goals that he's scored, right? We have been crying out for Martin Odegaard to make those finishes from outside the box, around the box. You see that top corner goal, that bottom corner goal. Great finishing. He is a clinical player, and he's shown that he's in times. Also, he's played as a number 9. We've seen him score these goals.
I go along with you. Like, I think he's done very well in the number 9. I think like the back end of last season, done really well. The one thing I say with Mourinho, I think that international football may suit him because it's a little bit slower.
Okay.
I think like Spain might. I think with the pace of Premier League,
Scoring goals for us as well.
Yeah, he scores goals for us, but I don't. You know
right.
what I mean, I don't see him being the number 10 player.
Just quickly. Do you not think, on that note, Spain play football very quickly because that's their style of play?
Yeah.
They're tiki-taka passing, they're quick passing, quick moving. That's why Zubimendi excels in that role for Spain. Is the way he moves the ball around. So
He also had a very
International
good game.
football's a little bit slower, you know. Like it's a bit more. Listen, I think Mourinho's a decent player, but
I've got one for you, which is actually, I'm not going to take credit for this one. My daughter, Kenya, suggested this one, right? What about playing a 4-4-2
Yeah.
with Gyökeres and Marino up front? Especially as we're at home,
yeah.
we think that they're going to be pretty negative, right? I just get the feeling they will be Forest, right? And even going forward, like if this guy is like, we've seen him playing as a forward for us. He scores goals. He scored goals for his country. You got Gyökeres there. If you're coming up against these teams sometimes low block and that, what about a 4-4-2 him and Gyökeres?
I wouldn't be against that, but I don't think Mikel would go away from his principles.
For
me, why not?
For me,
Because he won.
Why?
Because he's stubborn, like all managers are.
The issue that I had with...
Want to win?
Listen, I think it's something you could do in the last 20, 25 minutes of games, 100%. But yeah, I'll be shocked if you'd done that.
I'd love to see that. Not obviously you pick your opposition, but against certain teams, especially with playing at home, if you could do a 4-4-2, like you could have Gyökeres, Marino, then look at the midfield. You still got a great midfield behind them because you still got Zubimendi, Rice.
So you're leaving Odegaard out?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could leave him out, or you could have. Yeah, you probably leave Odegaard out. Eze on one wing, Saka on the other. And you got our back four that we know is a great back four.
How much are you going to put on that he does that then?
No, I don't. I'm not saying he's going to do it, but why not give? I do want to see these sort of things get tried, though.
I like, I'd like to see
There's
that.
a lot of games throughout a season. It's not a disrespect to a player that you say,
Do it
"Yeah,
against
stand
Port
down."
Vale, see how it goes in. Like.
I'm not averse to Marino starting.
Guys just scored a
instead of
hat-trick.
Odegaard.
Yeah.
I'm not, because he offers something, aerially, and also his finishing in and around the box is A1.
Listen, if you played that, you'd have to play it completely different to the way we play it. When he played against Liverpool, he wasn't playing that role that he done for Spain. It was like, you keep the ball and don't go further. He didn't even get hardly into our box, did he? But listen, I ain't criticising him. I think he's a decent player. I think he's better than what people think that he is. I don't really know what his best role is, though, if I'll be really honest. What is his best position?
Yeah, look, that role that he's playing for Spain.
What was that role? What was that role?
It was like in a 10.
Yeah.
It was a 10.
Well, you watched the whole game, did you? Like?
I watched the majority of the game. Yeah, I did watch the majority of the game. Yeah,
Right, that's okay.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, listen, I was.
He's casting doubt on you, Marty.
I know he is. Of course, everyone does. It's just a standard thing. Listen, I watched a lot of the game, and what I saw from him and Zubimendi, I really liked, and what I saw of his finishing, I really liked.
His finish, I've got to say, was it the second goal when they moved it across and then it went across the box? That is a wonderful, wonderful finish. He can finish.
He can finish.
Got a fantastic goal. I think against Leicester, remember that first goal? But I think his goal against Bayern Munich is sort of not brushed under the carpet. Gets slightly forgotten because of the 2 unbelievable free kicks from Declan Rice. But
His goal against Real Madrid.
Oh, sorry, Real Madrid.
Yeah, that was a great finish as well.
Unbelievable goal.
Similar to the one that he scored the other night.
And that's what we're missing sometimes in these games against teams that come to the Emirates with a low block. Someone that's just going to pick the ball, or the ball's going to get flashed to the edge of the area, and bang, it's in the top corner or in the bottom corner. And that's what I talk about with Eze. That's what I talk about now with Marino and Gyökeres. These players that can just, before you know it, the ball's in the back of your net. And that's what you need sometimes. That's why. And listen, I rate Odegaard, I really do. He's our captain, and but we all know that he hasn't been doing that. We've seen him do that. Season's gone. We're not seeing him do that at the moment.
I watched him against Moldova. I thought he was outstanding.
He scored,
that pass to Haaland was absolutely fantastic.
He scored as well, didn't he?
He scored, assisted twice. And I thought, run the show, really.
To be fair, I think so would you.
And
you'd have been running that midfield as well.
You do know he had about 7 days on the ball.
And like you said, alluded to a few times, it's very slow in them games, right? So even you could play in that midfield, you know what I mean?
I think I might have assisted against, if I was Norwegian, I've been disappointed not to have got a game.
I think you would have got a couple of goals in there, Lee.
But just going back to that Marino thing, he's just scored a hat-trick.
Confidence is going to be high.
And another goal. He scored 4 in 2.
Should he be on the bench if he's just been on... And that hat-trick...
Well, you could, all right.
The hat-trick was against Turkey as well. You're not playing against...
If you want to go on that...
Not against mugs, are you?
If you want to go on that, then... Drop Gyökeres and put him up there then.
No.
Well, I watched a bit of Sweden.
He didn't have a great time against Sweden.
But then Isak doesn't play that well for Sweden either. So,
he only come on. What I'm saying now, with Gyökeres, I think this is an important thing now. He's had 2 games for Sweden now. He's had 3 games for Arsenal. He's up match fitness now. He's got to be up there. It's, I know what... I've made little excuses for him, or he's not quite fit, he's a little bit wooden because he's not quite sharp. That's out the window now, Victor. Right, this is it, this is your time to shine. If not, you know what I mean, in comes the man Marino.
Take the jeans off.
Okay. Or maybe Marino starts against Bilbao. Who knows? He's going back over to Spain, somewhere where he's used to, Basque region, all that. I mean, again, what we're saying with the squad, the one player that no one seemed to be as is there is Martinelli. You've been under a lot of pressure, been getting a lot of criticism, especially after that Liverpool game. So you're both saying don't start him in that.
Well, he done well for Brazil the other time. He done things for in that Brazilian game that he doesn't do for us, like taking on fullbacks, getting crosses in, and everything like that. I just think that I don't know where we go I think that. With Gabby, I think that you've got to look at the way the system that we're playing at this moment in time don't suit him, and I think that we don't nowhere near play to his strengths. 2 years ago he was fantastic, but at this moment in time, I think he's just lacking a little bit of confidence, and just try and build that up a little bit if we can. Look, Angelotti's a fantastic manager. He played him in 1 game, left him out the other. Gabriel played in that first game, didn't the second, so there might be.
Thank God for that, man, because that second game is Bolivia, right? We're you know what I mean, about 1,000,000 miles above sea level. You know what I mean? Which they lost that game. Now everybody loses in Bolivia.
Yeah, I think Angelotti was done us a favour. I think maybe there was a little bit of chat about that, but listen, I think hopefully he'll get some sort of minutes. But I think you just spent 60 odd million on Eze. You've got to play him at home against Nottingham Forest. You've got to, what I mean? It's just ludicrous if you don't.
You?
100%. Eze, I think it's written in the stars. He starts against Forest and scores on his home debut for the Arsenal. I think it's yeah. Listen, I'm calling it now. I'm calling it. What's that?
Just a major you know what I mean?
It is.
Lee don't do written in the stars. You know? He doesn't do that.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling him.
That's right. You know what I mean? I'm glad.
You have little faith. You don't.
No, look, listen.
Seriously,
wouldn't surprise me if he assists and all that. Listen, he's quality, absolute quality. Forget about Andorra. You know what I mean? But I think I look back on I've looked at it a few times. why didn't he shoot when against
he
Liverpool? Like, I
against
can't
Liverpool,
believe that. He had the opportunity to be all right. I don't know what happened there. We fell over. I don't know what happened. Like, you know what I mean? So,
well, hopefully he's going to get the opportunity again on Saturday, and he's going to shoot, and he's going to score the goal. The Emirates is going to go crazy, and it's going to be a great day.
What's your 11 for that game? Just you two run through your 11.
Raya, Timber, Mascara, Gabriel, Calafiori, Rice.
Oh, Calafiori, not Mars Lewis Scully.
Yeah, Calafiori.
Listen, just based on what he's done,
I thought he was outstanding.
I think he's earned his place.
And he didn't play. He didn't play in the midweek. They conceded 4 goals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rice Zubermendi in midfield. Listen. Marino potentially in the 10.
No, potentially. Put your fist down on the table.
I'm going to say Marino in the 10. Eze on the left, Madueke on the right, and Gyökeres up front.
No Odegaard.
No. Okay. He's on the bench. He can come on, mate. You know, if Marino's not playing well, but I think I want to see this.
Okay.
Because finish on this. When Marino went off against Liverpool, I do think that we lost something in our retention of the ball and our complete our play. When Odegaard come on, I'm not disrespecting Odegaard. He's a top player, he's an elite player, but we're not seeing the best of him at the moment.
Right, what about you?
Everybody but Odegaard.
So Odegaard instead of
his number 10.
Marino. Yeah, you know what, Marty?
6, but he's a number 10. Like,
I see where Marty's
8 and 9 as well.
I see where Marty's come from, man, because the guys have scored, like, he's been on fire on international duty.
4 goals in 2 games.
Yeah.
And he didn't do that bad against Liverpool, but I think it'd have to be Odegaard for me back in, man. Yeah, low block team. We need a bit of creativity to break that down. As I said, I just get the feeling that Ange, you know.
Well, listen, by the way, we're just talking about Odegaard. He has got to start pulling his finger out.
Yeah.
There's no. He's on the.
No, we were saying that. We're not even saying Wanyeri, who also scored, by the way.
Yeah.
He also scored on international duty for the under-21s.
Back up to him, like, you know, but you know, didn't back him up at Liverpool. But I do think now that Martin Odegaard, you know, everybody's, and I'm a big Martinelli fan, but I'm saying that no, the form's not been there. It's time for him to drop out and all that. I'm at that stage with Odegaard. He's on, you know, he's got to come and do the play well. If he cannot come in a home game against Forest and do the business, what does that say for the rest of the season, in my opinion? So I think it's a massive game for him. You come in there, you do the business, otherwise it's somebody else's turn.
Okay, and then obviously come next week, Tuesday, Bilbao away. That's quite a tough start to the Champions League program. It reminds me a little bit of like last season when we had Atalanta away, which was another sort of tricky one. We know that it's going to be, it'll be a great atmosphere at Bilbao. I saw when United played there and that, like, you know, and I spoke to Flex from United View and he said atmosphere in that stadium is like absolutely rocking, right? It's a big test for us.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it.
Nico Williams, the Williams brothers, you know what I mean? Like, it's a big test for us for your first Champions League outing to go away there. You're not looking forward to it?
No, I'm not looking forward to it because you're going into a place where, you know, they had that triumph there. So I'm not looking forward to it.
Where Tottenham had their triumph.
Yeah, like, so you know that they've been walking around the streets all happy and all that. Like. So I'm not. So where I want to walk around the streets knowing that look, they was happy there. So I'm not looking forward. I'm not looking forward to that part of it. Like, you know what I mean? You walk into a bar and they've been in there celebrating. Like, I think I might have a alcohol-free couple of days out there. Like, that's the first thing. Second thing, I'm going to contradict myself here by slagging off the manager when we went to Liverpool. I would play Marino in that game and play because for me,
hang on.
I'm not, because a draw ain't a bad result over there, like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, you're playing for a draw?
No, I'm not playing for a draw, but I'm saying, like, it ain't as important to win that. It's about qualifying.
Yeah.
Right, and we've got a massive game on the Sunday against Man City, so I would like to see a little bit of rotation.
And who? So Marino, who else?
I would put Martinelli up front, see how that goes, and let Gyökeres have a little rest as well.
Wow.
It's interesting you say that, because for me, last season, our European form was a lot better than our Premier League form. So
Martinelli's a lot better in Europe than he was in the Premier League.
Yeah, I just think, like, you know what I mean? It ain't about getting, like, when your Premier League's about getting top on it and winning, you win it, like. But it doesn't matter if you come first or eighth. Right, let's get that right.
Well, yeah, look at PSG.
You know what I mean? Look at PSG, look at Liverpool last year. It doesn't matter. I know they've changed it a little bit now, like with that home thing and all that, but I think it's important you get into the top 8, right? Get into the top 8. And as high as you can, but at the end of it, it's not the be and end all, like, you know.
You want to go off to a good start, though.
Yeah, and a draw, like, you know, go for the win, but be a little bit more cautious and whatever, and just rest a few players in. I don't want to see, for instance, Saliba being risked, you know what I mean, even if he's fit. Just, you know, a little bit of rotation. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think you need to. This isn't. I'm intrigued to see Mascara play out as well.
Yeah, you know? Like, well, he plays in the next 2 games.
Yeah,
and remember here again. I think for players like that, they're used to playing at Bilbao.
Yeah,
That's why the Marino thing's not even a bad shout, because those are Spanish players. Zubimendi.
I'd rest Rice for that game.
How many more players are you resting? Why?
Well, I've seen him running his nuts off in the last 2 games for England, right? Playing on Saturday. You know what I mean? Like, have a little break. That's what we can do. Have a little breather.
The game's on Tuesday. The next game ain't until Sunday.
Yeah,
the season's only just started.
You're playing Saturday, Tuesday. You ain't got a lot of time to recover from that there.
Playing at home.
I'll just say not all everybody. I wouldn't be at.
Nah, Rice plays for me.
Yeah, I think Rice's injury record is decent.
And what's the name? Still, it depends what Norgard, but
yeah,
Norgard's never been played in Europe yet either.
Well,
you want to throw him in away at Bilbao?
Yeah, why not? I trust in my squad.
First person slating. Yeah. He's too negative. I'm actually looking forward to the trip.
Yeah.
Bit of sunshine.
Well, no, it's going to be raining. Just say that. I know. Unbelievable.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's going to be.
I've got all my sunshine all lined up there and had a look at
can't be, man.
Honestly.
Let me see what's going on.
Like Monday when we're travelling, nice day. Tuesday, rain.
Really?
You're serious? It never rains in them places.
Yeah, well, it's up north, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
Always rains
I'm
up
checking
north.
my weather map, man. I can't believe that.
I know.
I was looking forward to, Bilbao.
Don't believe me, like, you know what I mean?
No, he's checking it, double checking
No, I
it.
checked it before we got here, like, you know what I mean? As I had a bit of time.
Nah, what are you talking about? Well, it's not. It's a little bit of cloud cover, but it's not hot. 22 degrees. I thought it'd be like, look at it, and then later on in the week, it's like 30, 28 degrees.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
the day, from the Wednesday onwards. Yeah. What's going on?
I know. And in Marbella, like, because a couple of my mates are in Marbella at the time, like, I might be moving up. They've decided not to. It's 30 degrees there, and I said, no, we'll stay where we are. You know what I mean?
Ain't fair, that.
I know.
Come on, God.
A few more days. Convince Robbie to let you have a few more days out there, you know?
Nah, I like to get back in here, blighty.
Yeah, let's get back. Tube strikes, cold weather.
I'll tell you what, like, it's all talking about the weather. Has it changed now or what? Like, yesterday was like a winter's day.
I know.
Winter's day. I put my trackies on for the first time, like, you know.
Yeah.
Turn the heating on.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't got the old legs out of you, like.
Right, guys, before we go, we've got to get your predictions for Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. Marty, you go first.
4-0.
4-0?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Do you know what? Last time I did this, I said 3-1 against Leeds, and I wish I'd have said 4-1, right? And then obviously we ended up 5-0. I do believe we can do a job again.
You're a lot better than Leeds.
Well, we'll find out. Under Ange, don't forget this is under Ange. Like, it's a really interesting game. We don't always do that well in the early kickoffs, but look, I believe in the team. I believe in the quality we've got, and yeah, I'm going to put it out there.
4-0.
Yeah, why not?
Lee?
3-0.
Okay. What do you think, Robbie?
I would be a bit more conservative, go like 2-0.
Yeah, but I think if we get an early goal, we can. I think this. I'm with Martin. This is where Arsenal now show their true I think Arsenal got to show a bit now. Got, you know what I mean? That's how I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I am going to the Emirates on Saturday, and I expect and I demand that Arsenal win this game with no excuses. If we don't win this game, that's on one man and one man only.
You.
David Raya and his silly little kicks out. No, like, it's on the manager. He's got to pick the right team, and he's got to get them. He's got to find a way of beating teams. Like,
do you know the thing is as well? I think after that Liverpool game, a little scrappy 1-0 win from a set piece and that ain't gonna please fans. They're gonna want to see a performance after that, because the main criticism of that game was you didn't go for it. You didn't show enough attack in the tent. He's got to do that against.
Yeah, he's got, and I think he will.
I think the main criticism of that game, and I've thought about this over the last few weeks, is Eze for Martinelli. When he came on, he made a difference. No disrespect to Martinelli, but he just run into dead ends. There was times when he could have unlocked Gyökeres, fed the ball through earlier, and I think that's what you're going to see with Eze, and I think that you're going to see what we are starting to see with Madueke, and I'm excited to see that and how that works. And you never know, he might throw a Marino in there, but it's now that other teams, we need to start putting a precedent down and letting people know that you come to the Emirates, you're going to be in for a tough game.
And when he come on, Odegaard, in that game, there was a strict instruction. You could see it with his play. Don't give the ball away. Just play safe, play safe, play safe. Odegaard, whoever it is in that team, whether it's your man Mourinho, Wanyeri or Odegaard, right? They have got to be adventurous. You will give the ball away. That killer pass will get cut out on the times, but you've got to go, right, don't matter, we're taking the risk. He takes the risks with Raya at the back. There's risks taken there to get it out of the thing. You've got to take risks that you're going to lose the ball. And do you know what? We've got good enough defenders that if we do lose it, we can win it back.
Okay, well, we'll find out.
What about Bilbao? You're not going to...
Okay, yeah, prediction for Bilbao. Lee, you first.
Go on, you first, Lee.
2-1 to the Arsenal.
Oh.
Just said you weren't looking forward to it. Oh, yeah, because of the Tottenham thing.
Yeah. Do you imagine if we don't win in Bilbao like that, they'd be all saying it like that?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm going to go 2-1 as well.
8-0. No, I'm joking. No, I think 3-1.
I think Europe suit. If he plays that possession-based football, I think Europe suits.
Europe does
more.
suit him, and if you actually look at it, last season in Europe, especially away from home, we were excellent.
Yeah. And without a striker.
Yeah. So 2-1.
Yeah, I'll say 3-1. I'll go 3-1.
Okay.
And it's going to be interesting. I'm intrigued to see Gyökeres, how he performs in Europe.
You're number 10.
Some great games to look forward to. Of course, Nottingham Forest at home on Saturday, and then we travel over to Bilbao during the week. The football is back in full flow. The international break is over, and we're looking forward to it. Got it covered here on AFTV. Don't forget, we've got a watch along to the game on Saturday, so make sure you check that out as well. And of course, we'll be after the game interviewing fans and getting the lowdown on how it all went. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Lee. Thanks, Marty. Don't forget to subscribe here to AFTV, and we'll be back very soon.